right, hello everyone. How is everybody doing? Welcome to Talk with Steven. There is few people that have texted me when we don't have a Talk with Steven last week, asking, "Hey Steven, where is Talk with Steven? Today no Talk with Steven session, is it?" I was like so touched that many people are actually like taking your time on every Wednesday at 1 o'clock to come and watch Talk with Steven session. And I have no complaint about it. Please continue watching and please do share it out with all your friends. Ask everybody to come and watch the session with us today. So as usual, for for all our loyal audience, welcome back. And for the new one who is just came to this awesome session today, thank you so much for joining us today. Like I mentioned just now, please do ask your friends and family to come and watch our session today. And a little bit of intro. I think you saw a beautiful video just now. Talk with Steven is a talk show that's organized by me. I'm Steven here. It's hosted by me actually. And why I started this talk show is because I really like the conversation that I will have with people. I just love to talk to people, get to know about them, and see what I can learn from them, and do to see what I can do for them as well. So the talk show started like that, and then I don't even know that this talk show is going to be big hit where we're going to do it for like 1 year, and this is my 49th episode if I'm not mistaken. And as usual, today's episode is going to be something interesting, and it's a topic that many people are looking forward, I guess, because I'm doing marketing and sales, for those of you guys don't know, and which means I talk to a lot of people. So most of the people that I talk to recently, they've been actually asking me about this question, like, hey, I'm working now my 9 to 5, and I don't know how to. I want to do something about my passion. And when we ask what is their passion, they don't know. They're like, I have no idea what is my passion, bro. How do I find it while I still maintain my job? So that was like, oh, that's a very good question. And then some other people suddenly come and ask me like, I already have a business. I already working, but I don't know how to develop it to the next level because I only got 2 days to work on my business. They go for 9 to 5 job for the next 5 days, and only got 2 days to work on it. If let's say you have a baking business, you only can take a number of orders during these weekends. You cannot take like 100 orders, then you cannot give your best. So they were thinking about that as well, like how to bring it to next level while you still maintain your 9 to 5 job. So many questions about this particular topic, about how you can become from an employee and transform to an awesome entrepreneur and all these things. So I decided maybe we should do a talk with Steven session about it. And I was thinking, who shall we call? Like, who should be the right person to talk about it? Then Dila's name suddenly popped in my mind. Uh, to be honest, it doesn't pop in my mind. I was thinking about it. I get a message from our guest speaker for today, Deelashiny. So she asked a few questions. I was like, oh, that is a very good person who can talk about the topic of employee and entrepreneurship. Why not? Then I asked her, can you come as a guest speaker? Then she's very kind enough to say, okay, I will get it done. Let's just go and all these things. So as I mentioned just now, our topic for today is the journey from an employee to an entrepreneur, how she's maintaining all these things. And Dila is one of the awesome person that I know. And I'm very fortunate that I know this person because she does a lot of things. She maintains a 9 to 5 job where she give a best, like absolute best in whatever that she does. And also she has her own event management company called Rishik Events, where she, organize all kind of events, from physical event to online events, all kind of events she organized. And she also a CEO of ET Ideas. ET Ideas is a social business incubator where we have developed about 32 business right now, and it's been running for the past, I think, 12 years. From started in 2008, it's been running since 2008 for the past 12 years. So she took over the CEO position in 2020 when everything was going wrong. I think before, when we know everything is going to go wrong in the pandemic, she took the job and she developed ET Ideas to the next level while still maintaining the full-time job in a company and all these things. So I was very fascinated how she does all these things, and at the same time she has time to travel. She have time to go to the places that you want to go. Have time for herself to just to lay down and have fun and all these things. So I'm very intrigued to ask all these questions to Dila on how she's doing everything that we know and still give a best in everything that she does as well. So I think I've talked enough. So without any further ado, let's welcome our guest speaker for today, Deelashiny, to the stage. Woo!
Hi, Steven.
Hello, Deela.
So now I know I'm the one that actually self-volunteered myself to the WhatsApp
Yes, yes. I was actually thinking so many people asking me this question. Maybe nature want me to talk about this topic, but I'm not the right person to talk about it because I don't have a relevant working experience. Then suddenly I got a text from you. I was like, wow, nature asked me, nature give me this like guest speaker as well. I just asked her to come. So that's how you have been chosen for this wonderful topic of employee to
So
entrepreneur.
I should be careful when I text a talk show host. There's
Okay.
a lot of like
Probably,
these people in ETS.
yeah. Probably every audience who is watching just now would be like, after this, they're afraid to text me. Maybe suddenly Steven has to come and talk to himself with Steven. So, yeah. So, how are you, Dila? How are you feeling today? Are you okay?
Good, good. I'm good.
Okay.
Can't
Thank you
wait
so
to
much.
share.
Okay, Dila. Thank you so much for being here. And I think I did a pre-interview session with Dila the other day. It was all the answers was amazing. And I'm gonna ask so many questions, and there is also audience ask the question before the session even begins. So I'm gonna ask that questions as well to you for all our current audience who is watching the session right now. If you guys have any question, please do drop it in the chat box so that when we have the time we will take it out. Otherwise, you can just message Dila face in Facebook. She might see how she can help you out as well. So Dila, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay,
Let's do
Dila.
this even.
Okay. Before we go into like how you balance your entire work and business, develop it to the next level, everything, right? How were you when you were we many of us just got graduated and in school or in college and everything, and many of us go to work, and after that they realize, oh man, this is boring, or this is not what I want. I want to do something about my passion, but most of them they actually don't know what they are good at. So how were you last time when you went to the working world the very first time, and how did you felt?
Okay, so I graduated as chemistry and biology student. And yo, Steve's going to show something now.
Yes, yes.
I can see
I see
the
that
cursor
picture.
going, oh shit.
Yes.
No. So this is me when I graduated. So I graduate in chemistry and biology, and it's not something like I was forced to go into or what. I did it because I wanted to. I finished the course, I graduated, and I got a job related to what I studied as well. That was
Okay.
very rare. This kind of things is very rare, so I consider myself very lucky at that point of time to get a job that you actually studied for. But of course, everyone have a perception or an idea of how their working life is going to be. Like we
Yeah.
always waited for the moment where we actually get a
Yes.
money to actually spend on things that we love to do and we
Yeah.
want to do. And we always imagine, I guess media has a lot of influence on that as well. Imagine how a working life would be and all. So
Yeah.
I actually got a job that was very related to what I was studied for, and then I was working in a lab for 5 years before I actually decided to do something about it. I enjoyed the work at the beginning because it was something different. You go to a new environment, it's
Yeah.
always fun. You always are exposed to new things. Your mind is always learning, right? But after a while, in any company, there's always a standard operating procedure. So that's a way how you do things. I'm not doing research or inventing new things or what. I'm just doing what the company usually do. So after a while, like I think about the second year of me working
Hmm.
there, I already start to feel a bit bored. Like I start to
Because
question,
routine
like,
really the works.
yeah, the work becomes so routine. After a while, what used to take a long time to do, it becomes more faster because you're doing this every day.
Hmm.
I still remember was that my friends made a joke about this. So one of the birthday, they actually bought for me a thick book of Sudoku, because I like to do Sudoku in newspaper last time. So they were saying, before your brain cell died, you try to do this on your break time. Because and after a while you don't really think. You're like robot, you come in, you do the same thing, go
Yeah.
out, you do it. So there's no room for thinking. Those you don't do all these things anymore, and you start feeling boring. They say the ideal mind is the devil's workshop, right? Because your mind is so free, you start to think about things that are not really positive and stuff like that. I guess I also, uh, my the founder of ETIDS, Mr. Lingo Tiago, used to tell this last time. When the student is ready, the master will appear. So I guess I was looking for something exciting to do in my life. This is not exactly how I want to live for the rest of my life. I wanted to do
Mm,
something that I can actually add value, I can contribute, I can actually, how to say, build a community. I was starting to think all this already, but I didn't know what to do. I don't know how to do. I'm like, you're just fresh grad. You're working in an environment for 2 years, and that's all the bubble that you know. You don't really know, I think, anything other than that. So when I started having these thoughts and everything, sooner or later, I was introduced to ET ideas through my mom. So I thank my mom for actually introducing a world that I really love to me. So I was introduced to ET Ideas. I came to their talk show. Last time ETS used to have a talk show. I came there and I was introduced to things like subconscious mind, following your heart, things like even following your heart. Now probably people have heard about this, but at the point of time, I was in a bubble, like a small
mm,
little bubble.
yeah.
I just go home, eat, sleep, come back, go to work, do the same thing, go back, this routine, and you meet the same people every day for 2 years. So I was in a little bubble. I was not exposed to these things, and I find it very intriguing, like, what is this thing and stuff like that.
Mm,
So that, listening to those things, uh, I wouldn't say I was very connected to ETS at first. I was just like, wow, something different. So your mind is just excited, but after a few times of me going to ETS, only actually I really understand what it actually mean, and then only started taking action to it. And that's how I stayed and I became who I am today. So I guess that was my life before I met ETIDs. I was just a bored teenager, like not say teenager, young adults that wanted to do something in the life that actually contribute to a bigger picture. And
mm.
when I started thinking about it, and as my mind started focusing on it, I guess ETIDs was like a thing that just appeared. It was there, I guess. It's just that I will never actually know it exists until I started thinking about it. Then I started taking action to do it, and then everything else is a story that I will answer the next question.
Yeah, yeah. For which means for all the audience who is watching the session today, you are not suddenly click this talk show and watch it like, hey, what is this? Some people talking about this. What is this? I just want to see. It's not that something changed in your thought, something switched in your thoughts that you attracted this actually. Many
Yeah.
people know about this law of attraction, all these things. So I think that's how you attracted all these things. So there is this question by our audience. They just asked us before even the session begin. I told you, right? So they asked a very interesting question which I thought of asking you right after every question finish. So
Okay.
so they asked about like how did you handle your inner fears when you are doing different things. Like right now you are actually doing the work for 2 years. You are okay, you are fine, everything is going smooth, you get the money, everything. To For you to step out and do something, it's like technically something new you're going to do again, everything going to start back and everything. What type of fears, like how did you handle the inner fears at that point of time when you wanted to try something exciting out of your normal routine?
Yeah, I don't know how many people actually told this, but when I first started coming to ETS talk show and everything like that, I told you I was excited and everything like that. But after a while, the reality sink in. You will know after a while that if I decide to go, if I decide to continue in this journey, things will be very different in my life. Like um, as much as I wanted to impact people, I wanted to be a part of a bigger picture, but the salary I was in, the comfortableness I was in is also something that I would like, I'm okay with that. So many times we are like, we actually want that comfortableness, we want that money and everything like that, right? So to do something different, it is going to be difficult. And to be honest, I think I came to ET Ideas talk shows and everything like that for like first 3 months. After that, I started feeling scared already because my mentor, Mr. Ilago Tagu, used to meet me and then I start asking questions that really get me to think, and actually started really connecting to my heart, like what exactly I want to do in my life. Like you want to be
mm,
part of bigger picture, but what exactly you want to do in your life? If you don't have a clear goal, where are you heading? So when you started asking certain question, I started thinking, and I'm like, after a point, you already know that this question will, you have to eventually take your action. If not, you're not going to be happy. And I really
mm.
wanted to take that action, but I was so scared that I actually disappeared from the ET ideas phase. I think for roughly about 4 to 5 4 months, 5 months, like that. And
Okay.
I remember my mother used to work in Sunway Lagoon, and they used to have a show. And so happened that was that Ilongo and that time ET Ideas people were there in the show, and I was there, and he was like, wow, long time no see, yeah. He started telling that, and I was like, yeah, but it's a bit scary and everything like that. Um, After a while, when you already have ignorance is the bliss, really. Ignorance, as long as
Mm.
you don't know, you are happy go doing whatever you're doing. If you ever
Okay.
listen to this talk after this, it's really not a bliss for you all anymore, because if you really want to do and you listen to this talk, it will bother you after a while, because there's another world out there that you want. So that 4 to 5 months was like the most unhappy time for me, because I know I want something, but I was super scared shit to actually take that action, and to actually
Mm,
go there. And it was so miserable because and my sister's also part of ET Ideas, and I can see my sister growing and everything like that. She's happy doing what she do, and I want to be part of it, but I'm just so scared to take that action. And
mm.
then until a point that I really cannot tahan, because I was really like not happy at all. I was so miserable. I was like, I'd rather not. Why did I even first go to this talk? I should just ignore and everything like that. But I already went. I know this world exists. So now it come to a point that I had to take an action. So then after that only, it takes a lot of willpower for me to come out of the fear and actually text my mentor now and say that, can we meet? I want to talk to you. And the first thing I had to do is actually confess. The one thing that ETIDs hold very close to our heart is being truthful. And I was put into test to actually tell the truth, why I was missing for the 5 years. It is so difficult to admit that I was just scared. It's not that I'm not interested, it's not that I don't want to be part of it, I'm just so scared. And when I actually confess that and actually tell them the truth, and then only it really made a difference. They really guide me through that fear and everything. And all the while I was just handling those fear alone. But after that, it's not like I don't have fear anymore. I have those fear, but now I have an environment, I have people who actually can bring me out of the fear. So that made
Mm.
a lot of difference. So I will never forget the 5 months, because it was so miserable, and I don't want to go through that again. So the text that I had after 5 months to Mr. Lingotagu, and I was having a dinner with him, and he
This with
asked me,
some recent
yeah,
pictures. So,
but this is a few years later.
yeah.
That time he was not very socially active. So then he asked a few questions, and then he helped me out of it, and then I never left ET Ideas after that. It's been like 10,
Yeah.
10 years, I think. Yeah.
Nice, nice. I think it's a very nice journey actually, and like what you told, the 5 months become like the most miserable life, miserable month, and all these things. I recently read in a book that my mentor wrote, where she was like, everything was going smooth, like work and everything was going smooth. Whatever that can go, like your work is going smooth, you are happy, all these things going smooth, but you still feel very restless, like
Yeah.
still very tired, and all these things, even though everything is going smooth. That's when she told, she realized there is something that she need to be done, she need to do. That's when she started to follow the heart and all these things. So it's very nice to see that you also face the similar kind of things when you decided to do something out of norm and all these things. So now you decided to do something, and then after went off 5 months without taking any action and everything. I think there are a lot of people who are watching this segment right now. You could have been like, oh yeah, no wonder I get lost from the environment and all these things. Don't worry, you're not the only person have done it. Even I have done it as well. Like I went for like 3 months or 2 months, has been went off. Then only I come back again after that as well. When you talk about
Yeah.
it, I realize, oh damn, I also did it last time. So it is totally fine. But as soon as you go back to your mentors, whoever that is guiding you right now, then only the journey will become nicer actually.
Yeah.
So now you go back ready. Now you decided, okay, this is the right platform. This is where you're going to find your passion and do something about it and all this aside. So the next obstacle that usually that a person faces is like, how did you find your passion? Like right now, you are someone that is very passionate about events and anything that we want to do, any event we want to do, everything comes through you. Like, we consult you so that the moment we talk to you, we have 100 things to settle because because we have never thought about anything. The moment we talk to you about this one event, then you tell us this is done, this is done, this is done. We'll be like, oh no, we have never done anything. So you go back and start to take action towards it. So that's how important you have become in the things that you do, and how good you have become the things that you do. But how did you find your passion while you were still working in a 9 to 5 job?
So one thing that I like about ET Ideas is that the fact that it's a community, it's a platform that has a lot of successful people. It's not just one area. They have a lot of different industry leaders, industry CEOs, founders of companies that is there supporting individuals to actually find their passion. So when I was there, this allowed me to actually, how to say, explore things a bit before I really wanted to decide what I want to do. I mean, my mentor asked me what exactly I want to do. I didn't have any idea, to be honest. um, because I always thought I want to do research, I want to do science, and that's why I got good results. I studied hard, I
Mm.
got good results, I got into the college that I wanted to college, I wanted to go. I got into the course that I wanted to go. I got a job that I wanted to go, but at the end of the day, you're not happy. So it's like you have always thought this is what you want, and then you're not happy. Then somebody asks you what you want. I'm like, how to answer this now? I'm very confused. I also confused already. Exactly what I also what I also don't know. So then I'm like, okay, let's start somewhere. My mentor asked, what are the things you like, what are the things you like to do, what are the things you like generally, maybe we can start somewhere there. So I like Indian traditional wear, so I thought, why, I mean, I like Indian traditional wear, maybe I can manage a boutique, I can, have a boutique or what. But I don't have experience, you see, because I have no experience other than working 9 to 5.
Mm.
So you cannot just give money and ask me to start a boutique, and I'll never do because I have no idea where to get what. I have no idea how to do pricing. I have no idea
Yeah.
how to talk to people to get marketing. I have no idea all these things. So um, fortunately, at that point of time, we had an associate who has a boutique in Klang, for but she was not actively there because she was also doing something else. So he said
Mm.
he partnered up with me, with us, and said, like, why don't you try that out and see whether that's really what you like to do. This is something that we actually do until now in ET Ideas. We actually put people in a situation where they say they like, and see actually is that something they like to do. Because like me, I thought I like science and I like to do research, but actually when I do the work, I don't really like it. So we put them into test and see is that really what they love to do and they don't mind doing for the rest of their life. So he did that for me, and then I went. I learned a lot. I went every day. I think Monday to Friday I work. By the time I come back from work, it's already 6 something. I'm too tired to do anything else after that. So
Yeah.
Saturday, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I wake up and then straight away 10 o'clock I'll be in the clang in the boutique, and I'll be there until 5 or 4, and I'll do the same thing on Saturday. So for I don't know, for a few months it was just Saturday, Sunday every day, 10 to 4. I'll be just there the boutique. Nobody will be there. I mean, like, the boutique is still not yet grow, right? So no customer will be there, but I'll just be there and I'll learn how to source from India. I started their social media page. I do a lot of things. I learn a lot of things along the way.
Mm.
So one other thing that we got an idea. That time it was me, Joyce, the owner of the boutique, and then a few other people came out, and, like, we are ladies, right? So we discuss and we like, what are things we can do actually to get people to come to the boutique. So one of the idea we got was to do an event for ladies in the boutique. So we have the boutique as a venue for the event where they come, and then they're already there, right? And there's baju all there, so they can one shot see, and if they like something they can buy. So we started doing finance talk for women, how to dress up in a certain color for women, how to wear this for women. So we try to do things related to women. And
Who come
soon
up with
enough,
these ideas actually?
I think it's Joyce, because Joyce used to have finance workshop.
Mm.
So we just thought, okay, instead of having the finance workshop in a restaurant, why don't we just have here in this boutique? I mean, we can give it for free because all we want is people to come. So whoever your guest, your client come, and it's just a brainstorm session that happened.
That's actually a very good idea.
So I mean, to be honest, it's like I might not come up with the original idea because I'm not used to all these things.
Mm, mm.
So you surround yourself with people who are used to developing businesses and giving ideas and everything like that. So now you start thinking like them. You started asking the right question to get their help and stuff like that. So that's how the idea came. So there's people coming. They were buying the product and everything like that. But in me, I was so excited for this event. I was so excited to organize this thing, then actually sell the product. Soon
Mm.
the how to say focus shifted. Um, so I remember for one of the year, the I can't remember which year is this. We had since it's an international wear for Deepavali, we had like a fashion show. This was Joy's idea, but I along the way I learned how to execute a plan. So
Mm.
thanks to Joyce, she guided me well. So execute a plan, and we actually had the fashion show. Everything that can go wrong went wrong. Seriously, seriously,
For example,
halfway the fashion show, the light, the generator give away the light, aircon, fan, everything just
what?
KO, like the generator. So we had to really open all the windows just for people to see in their flashlight of fashion show. It was so embarrassing. But at the end of the day, after the fashion show, I drove all the fashion show happened in Klang, Bukit
Wait,
Tinggi.
wait. Did the light come back after some time, or you just did it with some
It came back
flashlights?
after some time. I had to ask, I don't know whose help, I can't remember, but I have to ask someone's help to go and do this because I'm not capable of doing this. I'm still learning all these things. So it was happened in Bukit Tinggi, Klang. So I drove all the way from Klang to Sri Petaling in the jam at on a the Saturday jam. I drove. It was raining. I came back. I sat in a restaurant, and Longo was like, "Ask me, so how was it?" I'm like, I know it was a disaster, but to some extent, I feel so happy doing this. I know it's so weird, but I'm so happy doing this, and I don't mind handling this crisis again. It was so fun. It was a disaster, I admit, but it was so fun. I really enjoyed it. So I was like, you know what? I enjoyed it. I don't know how to explain to you this feeling that I have right now. And he's like, okay, we found the thing that you like to do, and that's how Dishik events started.
Nice, nice. Very nice and inspiring to hear your story, Dila, because there are many people like many things. Like even for me, that I told my mentor I like finance. Then like, oh, go talk to this person. Like how somebody asked to go and talk to Joyce. So I talked to this some person, and then they asked to read this book. I never touched the book even until now. Then I
Yeah.
realized, oh no, this is not what I want. But the thing is, when we go back to our mentors, then we know why we don't want to do this. Like, it's not like, oh, you are failure, we give you the opportunity, you failed, all this kind of things. Like, you start to take an action towards this boutique idea that you have, and then along the way you learn the things that you need to learn, but then you realize nobody is coming for the boutique. And then you started to do something else, like events and all these things, and eventually you find out your true passion that
Yeah.
lies in the event side and everything.
I have two things to add. One is that the idea was not my idea,
Hmm.
but the sometimes people give you idea. You just have to take an action because it might not be exactly what you're looking for, but through this you get some other idea. So I feel that you should not dismiss another person's idea just because it's not your idea. You think it's your business and you don't want to do because the idea must come from you, but it not necessarily that. Secondly is also because after I actually have dishing events, I didn't became the event planner. I was still the side character in event. So we used ETLS used to have half day talk show. Even though I actually registered a company under my name, but I was still doing registration, getting people to come, sending email, arranging the chairs, all this. How to say?
Simple,
It looks
very
it
simple.
looks like a small role, but it eventually built me to who I am today. I remember very well. Um, I'm an educated person. I have to be very honest with this confession right now. I'm an educated person. I'm a graduate. You always thought that okay, you have a business already. You are the owner of the company. You are the CEO of the company. You have a certain kaya everything like that. But when suddenly people come and ask you to go and take up the trash and was that arrange the chair, it really break the ego that you have knowing that you know it all. So I had to really start from scratch from all these things to build to the level of detail oriented or whatever people call me for now. From that, so it didn't really start from, oh, I have a company now, okay, let's now do marketing, let's do this, let's all. I started doing the small things.
Yeah, simple actions,
Yeah.
very simple actions. I like it because many times people afraid to take this action because they think that, oh, you want to do a business, oh, okay, let's go. Like imagine when you have this idea of doing boutique, and then you suddenly, okay, let's invest 5,000, buy all the clothes, rent a place, but put the electricity, plumbing to everything, and then you go there. Then now you realize, oh man, I don't like this. 5,000 gone, just like that. But you
Yeah.
started with something so simple with your guidance from your mentors, and that's when you started to figure out. And then you find a passion, and then you started to build on it. And even again, starting very simple, like what you told, tricking out the trash, arranging the chairs, all these simple things made who you are today. So I hope all the whoever that you're watching right now, this how you start, very small with the correct environment. And I think Dila says something very interesting, like you shouldn't reject an idea or suggestion from someone because it's not your idea. And again, you need to be careful of who you're taking this suggestion from. Please don't take from your friends
Yes.
who have same level from you, because they also don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like
My mine
find
y'all I
someone.
had this mine y'all I had this ETLS environment, so I'm okay to take
Yes.
credit from that. There's a lot of
Yeah,
people other than ETLS gave ideas as well. I didn't take.
yeah. Find someone who is actually successful in whatever that you are looking for. If you're looking for someone who is very good at maybe marketing, find someone who can actually do marketing very well and get the advice from them, and something like that. Then only you will move on to next level. So now, Dila, you have taken the action. Like before that, the fear was different. Like you don't even want to come back to the environment because it's so scary. What type of fears now did you face when you actually started to take action towards your passion while you were still working?
Mm, I guess fear of like losing things, because you have two world that you are in, right?
Hmm.
You have to handle event is my business, and I also work 9 to 5. So you are at two different times. Sometimes you lose focus, sometimes you get too busy at work, you forget about this event. There's many times that I actually overlook certain things and all. But the fear of being wrong, the fear of not completing because you have certain how to say, you have certain
Standards.
standards of people. To be honest, people in Italy look up to me that I do good events, but the same respect and things people give is also the fear that you let people down, you overlook on something. I do make mistakes, it's not like I'm perfect or what,
Mm.
but those mistakes sometimes I fear that it will get so big. So there's a different level of fear. But thank God that I have a great environment, a great supportive team that always keep track on me. They have the best interests for me. So whenever I get too busy at work and I forget that I have a company called Deshik Events, they will knock my head and say, "Hello, there's this company here. What are you doing?" And sometimes if I overlook things, there are people that remind, and I do the same. It's not just one way; it's two ways. I do the same for others as well, and they do the same for me. So that's having an environment of people, like-minded people that continuously look out for each other, helps my business grow and I help their business grow. So it works two ways for me, I feel.
Beautiful,
So
very
for
nice.
me, like this point of time is the environment that really helps to actually handle my fear.
Yeah, I think by now many of you would have this question in your head. What is ETIDS? If me and Dila want to talk about ETIDS, we can talk the entire day. But the topic is very different. But I will put my number in my chat box, and the number is coming in the sticker thingy as well. So you can contact me. We can talk about hours about ETIDS in phone or in Zoom call. I wouldn't mind at all. So Dila, I have this another question. I have two more questions after this. After this, we finish the session. I know it's a bit overtime already.
Yeah, sorry.
But sorry, I'm too excited to ask you so many questions. Maybe we should do a part two. So the next question that I have is, right, Dila. Um, you are balancing two things like here and there and everything. Obviously, the fact that you are taking action towards your passion is more exciting. It's super duper exciting. You're doing many things, learning many things, and all these things. How does it affect your working world, like giving your best? The obviously, if I'm just imagining myself, if I'm doing marketing and sales full time and then I go back and do a 9 to 5 job that is totally unrelated to marketing and sales, I don't know whether I will enjoy this much or not, whether I will give my best in my work, I will give my best here and everything. How did you manage, or how does the working on your passion actually affect your working world? How does it work?
At the beginning, yes, it does. I mean, I wouldn't say the beginning only, like even now. So sometimes you have problem. Wherever you have problem and you try to run away from the problem, you'll feel the other world is better. So I have this as well. Whenever I have problem at work, I'll be like, oh no, I don't want to do this. My event is better and everything like that. But at the beginning, I used to have this a lot. Generally, because like what you say, my life doing events on weekends is more exciting than actually going to work 9 to 5, because it's not that I don't like, it's just I find something nice and something that I like to do better. But my mentor actually pulled me out and said that you need to, if nature actually put you in this environment, uh, it has something got to do with your goal. So we have this thing that we have to focus on our goal and everything like that. So it's like whatever you focus on, it's what will build, right? So if you're focusing on your passion and your son, whatever that you do should be related to your passion. So if I'm still at a job, means it's related to my goals. I just don't know how it is related to my goals. So my mentor actually some will time to time sit down with me and break it down for me, because he's seeing from outside so he can see it
Yeah.
better. I mean, inside the problem I really don't see it.
Mm.
So he break it down for me and say that how these skills that you're doing at work actually help you to this. My my brain works in Excel very well. Everybody who works with me in event knows about this to me. I hate Word. I love Excel. If you can present to me anything in Excel, I'm okay. My brain works in Excel. But these skills come because I work 9 to 5. Because I work in an office, I build that skills from scratch. The detail oriented, the fact that you said just now, you will ask me, like I ask certain questions, then be like, okay, I never do this, I never do this.
Mm.
The ability to think in overall in detail comes from work as well, because I work in QA. I have to pretty much approve artwork and approve a printing, uh, ensuring that it's detailed. That means coming to the spec. So even one dot missing or so, I must able to detect. That's the level of training I get 9 to 5, and that's
Yeah.
why I do the same thing here. So it's like it works hand to hand. When my mentor starts explaining to me, then I feel more excited, because then I started um, progressing in my career. First I used to work under somebody, then I started become a team manager, then somebody
Mm.
people work under me, so I learned how to manage team, I learned how to communicate with team, and this thing then I bring to event as well, because event also I have a team that I need to communicate also. I have to continuously see how I can relate this, and that's how actually I can give my best. Because if not, then it becomes like it's not like what you say, not interesting anymore. So I
Yeah.
have to take conscious effort to make it interesting, because anyhow I'm in both way, both side, and I choose to do both. uh, so I need to give my best. I cannot
Nice.
neglect one, and it's not fair for the company that I'm working in, so I have to
Yeah.
give my best wherever I am in.
Very nicely, like very, very beautifully said. Like how the work that you do in your work and also actually helps you in your passion that you do. And I think it's a vice versa. Whatever that you learn in the event also helps you in your work to do
Yeah.
your 9 to 5 job better. So for all the audience who is watching this right now, ask yourself, maybe because when Deela was, there is a mentor there for Deela, then she can point out to you and why how this thing correlated with each another. Maybe you should ask yourself this question. And if you feel like you should have a mentor, somebody to watch your back and to guide you, you feel like you need some sort of guidance in everything, you can just contact me. I think I put my chat and my number in the chat again. We can talk about how we can help you out in ETI side as well. So Dila, one last question. This is my final question. After this we will end the session, I promise. We will definitely do a part two, guys, in a very, maybe in 1 month time or 2 months time. We will definitely do a part two about this topic. So like, you are doing everything is fine, and you are, during your weekend times you are giving your best, your work is going good, your UN is going good, all these things. And then the pandemic hit, right? Like, there's zero events. You have to just sit it. And I personally know many event organizers have switched jobs, or they went for a job, they switched their business and all these things. But you are someone that I saw who don't care about the pandemic. You just move your business online and you start to do so many events. Like last time, prior to the pandemic, there is only 2 days in a weekend, and probably you can do like two events in these 2 days, because Saturday one event, Sunday one event. That's all done. Maybe you can do two events in a day, lah. Maybe one afternoon and night, this kind of things. But when the pandemic hit, when everything moved online, you started to organize like 4 or 5 events in a day. Like, weekends with 4 or 5 events, and everybody know how to do their work. And you literally like teach most of the people here to how to handle the event and all these things. And I think that's actually leveled up your business to next level and all these things. How does these things happen, Dila?
How I move online and teach people, I guess,
Yeah.
is because the people I surround with started to do the same. To answer your question, if I actually outside, without ET ideas, without the environment, doing event by myself, owning a business and all, I probably would also face the same obstacles as everybody else in the event
Hmm.
industry. Uh, but the switch come faster for me is because everybody in ETI just started thinking the same, and we actually constantly, Stephen, I think you also agree with me on this. We constantly associate ourselves and work with the younger generation.
Yeah.
So generally, we are the younger generation gives us idea how to actually do things, because they are the online guru. Basically, we have a lot to learn from them.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
because we are constantly associating ourselves with them, the idea becomes very natural to actually do this. So I guess for me, it's basically because the team is there. The team gave started to think how else they can do, and generally also because everyone's focused on their goal, and this is something they're passionate about, and this is something they actually love to do, and they want to do for the rest of their life. So whether pandemic or no pandemic, they want to sustain their business. So when the focus become to the solution than the problem, even though one person do it, everybody starts following, and then after that, the next thing the whole ETI just starts to switch from physical to online.
Yeah.
And I remember now we also all, instead of meeting physically, we also meet in an app called Gather Town, where we actually like bump into each other and start dancing and everything like that. So the associating with younger generation, one, and also having a team that is constantly focused on solution and not the problem, helps a lot to see a different way how to level up, even in the obstacle. situation, I feel.
Nice. Surround yourself with the right type of people that will complement each another and grow in the business together. So I think you have said a lot of things about ET ideas. Like again, guys, if you want to know more about ET ideas, just contact me and we can talk about it more. As Dila mentioned, if you listen to a story from beginning to now, you can see that it's not always about like having a business model, having a right marketing plan, having the right type of people, hiring people, and all these things. It's more things about how you handle yourself. Like at the beginning stages, it's about being truthful. Handling your fears, and then when you move to the next level, giving your best, following your heart, seeing what you want, and all these things. That is why when people talk to us about ETI ideas, that's what I usually tell to people. In ETI ideas, we work with people in two different aspects. One is, of course, your business development, because that's your goal and all these things. But the first stages is actually about your personal development.
Yeah.
Because if all the fears, the truthfulness, and the issues that you're facing is pulling you down, you cannot climb anywhere. Like imagine you climbing a Mount Everest with carrying a big dumbbell in your hands. Already the journey is difficult, and now you're making it even more difficult. So that is what we do in India. Just like put down all these things so that you can have a nice and smooth journey. Obviously, it's gonna be super duper difficult. Like in Dila's story, you can have known that how much of struggle it is to do a business full time while maintaining a job and all these things. But it will become much more nicer. The journey will be so beautiful that you enjoy. That will enjoy every second of it. So thank you so much, Dila, for sharing your truthful sharing. I really liked it that you were very truthful and just share things as it is. And don't worry, guys. If I didn't take your question, don't worry at all. We definitely gonna do a part two for this segment, and we're gonna bring Dila again one more time to talk about this in the near future. So thank you so much, Dila. Any last word before you say anything before you end the session?
For those that are actually seeking something and you really want to do, and this is your passion, I guess now you guys have no turning back already, because you already watched this talk show. So if you're looking so ignorance is no more bliss for you guys. If you're looking for something, do contact Steven. He's part of ETIDS, so he'll be able to give you all a better understanding of what we do. And we are always looking for individuals who are willing to follow their heart and go out there and contribute back to the society. So come and meet us.
Yes. Yep. Thank you so much, Dila, for sharing. And I really like what you have done. So please stay tuned for the part two, guys. And please do join the upcoming Talk with Steven sessions as well. So thank you so much, Dila, for sharing your beautiful
Thank you,
experience,
Steven.
taking your time. And so sorry, I think we have went 15 minutes above the time. I was so
No,
excited to ask you
I
so many
enjoyed
questions.
it.
Thank you so much. And see you guys soon in the next week's Out of this year. Bye.
Bye.